Lightning broadcast here in Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW Center.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders delivered by Papa John's Pizza. Cam Ward in the net, as you see there, with 19 games. Pretty decent numbers for a team that doesn't score a whole lot of goals. Evgeny Gabakov finally getting a home start since a long time ago, way back in October. John Cooper behind the bench for the Lightning. On the other side, the first time as a head coach in the National Hockey League, Bill Peters, who was an assistant coach in Detroit for a number of years.
Dave Jackson and TJ Luxmore are the referees for this game. Brad Kovacic and Andy McElman, the linesmen, as we look at the veteran referee Dave Jackson, who will handle this opening faceoff. First of 3 meetings between the Lightning and the Hurricanes. The Canes will be back here December 27th, and then the Lightning pay them a visit at the end of January. The only meeting in Raleigh. Tyler Johnson centering a line with Alex Killorn on the left side, taking Andre Palat's spot. We can expect to see Valtteri Filppula back up on left wing with Steven Stamkos and Ryan Callahan. Of course, a couple of weeks ago they were playing together and quite effectively. With the absence of Palat, once again, lower body day-to-day, and Chief, we haven't had to announce an injury in quite a while for this team, and that's great news.
Boy, I'll say is it ever, but bad thing of it is we have to announce it to Andre Palat, one of the most consistent, best forwards the Lightning have.
Absolutely, as we look at the players not in action on both sides.
Yeah, you see that with the Carolina Hurricanes. I think Nestor Sill and Jordan Staal are the injured ones. Barberio and Palat. Barberio a healthy scratch. Palat is with that lower body injury.
Yeah, hopefully he can come back and play against the Capitals on Saturday. We'll see what happens as we learn more about his injury situation. Eric Staal, as we saw Jordan on that list, and Chief mentioning he's injured. You'll recall he suffered a broken fibula in late September, late in training camp. Was expected to be out 3 to 4 months. He just today skated with the team for the first time, so probably a few weeks away. Here's Victor Hedman with a shot. It's blocked and taken over by Yuri Tulusti, their leading goal scorer with 10 goals on the season. Ryan Callahan gloves the puck ahead, and Skinner playing it to the Lightning line. Victor Hedman right there. Stamkos leaving it. Anton Stroman shoots, a save by Ward as that one got through. Hedman for the point. Filppula working it with Stamkos, and he anticipated Hedman staying there at the point. The puck comes all the way back.
Yeah, that's something when the Lightning are playing really well, they utilize their points very well. They get it back to there. The points have done a good job of getting the pucks through.
Red Conley taking out Riley Nash as the Lightning move that puck to center. Conley over for it. Conley starting it in. And it's picked up by Jonathan Drouin back in the lineup with the injury to Palat. Drouin gets it out in front, and Cedric Paquette just punched it wide. Drouin working it with Paquette. The two youngsters with Conley, so 3 young forwards together on this line for the Lightning. Another miscommunication. It's played out to center ice by Chris Terry and taken over by Cedric Paquette. He'll take on Andre Sekera. Puck is played back to Gudas. Paquette with it. Lets the shot go, and it's deflected away. J.T. Brown turns, sends it wide. Picked up by Zach Boychuk, and the former Hurricane first-rounder from 2007 will send it in. It's taken by Ron Hainsey. He's skating in a 700th career game tonight. Victor Rask joined on the rush. A shot, a save by Nabokov as Terry coming late down the right wing side.
Boy, he got that way very quickly, and so many times when you get that pass there, the goalie gets a little bit of a chance to get set. Nabokov did, made a nice save.
Brendan Morrow checked by Mikhail Jordan. You look at the spelling of that name, it's Michael Jordan, but he's from the Czech Republic. Mikhail Jordan. And Rask working it free, trying to play it up the boards. Handled by Andre Schuster, backed up by Boyle with a shot that's wide. Hainsey with it. On with young Jordan, who's 24 years old. He's been in the organization 6 years. Has played 12 games with the Hurricanes. The Lightning come up with a steal. Patrick Dwyer gets it back for Carolina. Hainsey Chased there by Killorn. Around for Jordan. Pass off Dwyer's stick. Jay McClement pressuring the Lightning defense. Schuster moving it for Killorn. Out ahead for Nikita Kucherov. He tries to swing it around to veteran Tim Gleason. Puck left for Johnson. He couldn't center against John Michael Lyles. Dwyer had it poked off his stick by Hedman on an aggressive play. And that keeps the play in the zone. Johnson fires in front. Stopped by Ward as it was deflected back in front again by Killorn. And fed down the ice by the Hurricanes. We'll get an icing call. Chris Dingman joining us between the benches tonight.
Hi, guys. A little bit of feistiness going on down right in front of me, and a good start by the Tampa Bay Lightning, doing a good job. John Cooper talked about using their speed and putting pucks in front of the net and putting them on net. And a good job by the Bolts. A nice little chip and chase, Chief. You know, it's tough for the goaltenders to control those rebounds when you got a guy going in front of you.
Yeah, you're right. And they've been very quick to the puck so far, Chris. You know, we saw that they're not as quick in the last game here, but against Washington, but much quicker to get to the puck.
Filppula will take the faceoff back to Hedman. Winding, firing, it's blocked. And comes right to Jeff Skinner. Skinner will backhand it in. He's on this top line with Eric Staal and Yuri Tolusti. Kind of a changeover in this Carolina roster, but these are three holdovers here skating together. Ryan Callahan stick handles in, takes on Justin Falk. He's their leading scorer with 16 points. He's one of 5 defensemen leading their teams in scoring across the NHL. Sekera joins the rush. Skinner lets it go. Tolusti net corner, had it worked away by Filppula with his quick hands. Stamkos hit the 250-goal mark for his young career the other night. Victor Hedman, the pass, and it's set by Filppula wide of the goal. He was driving to the center of the ice as Callahan has it. Back out to Radko Gudas. His shot deflected by Staal, out of play.
Nice head pass by Stamkos to get Hedman out, sprung loose on the inside there. But that's a very good play by Filppula, just redirecting it right away, right from the hash marks. You see Ward had moved over to his right and had to really stop and then really get down and cover that 5-hole. But he did it well.
And the Lightning going with a younger line here. Drouin, Conley, and Paquette. Nash is checked by Conley. Pass back for him, deflects off Conley. And Carl will pick it up. Drouin. Conley from center, spinning one in wide of the net. Jordan is checked by Conley along the boards. This line coming with a lot of energy into this game as Chris and Chief talking about a good start, better start than we've seen the last couple, 3 games.
I like the chip to the short side, and it's such an important play. If you can't gain the zone with the puck, a good chip is as good as a pass.
Brown closely watched there by Lyles. Boyle comes back to help out. Carl trying to get to that red line. Soft chip, playing it in for Boyle. Out of Brendan Morrow. He's got Brown cutting to the net, and the try is off Ward. Brown cycles it in behind the net. Boyle tried it away from Rask. Got it back out to Garrison. And Morrow taking his man into the net. He's going to get a penalty as he and Gleason got tied up. 2 veterans jawing at each other here. And we'll have a penalty called against Brendan Morrow when we come back with no score and the Lightning holding a shot advantage of 5-1.
They cross paths tonight in Tampa. Tyler Johnson facing his former coach and junior in Spokane, and Bill Peters, now in his first season as an NHL head coach. We take you back to 2009 with Spokane. They won the Memorial Cup, and Tyler was the MVP at the age of 17 of that league, the Western Hockey League. You take a look at the most points scored by an American-born player to this point in the NHL season. Well, it's Tyler Johnson atop that list, a career that began in large measure with Rick and Chief, Bill Peters.
Well, thanks very much. Justin Tokarski, the goaltender on that Memorial Cup championship team. 2 minutes each to Gleason and Morrow. 4-on-4 hockey here as Johnson tried to center, and his pass blocked there by Andre Sekera. Here's a shot that's blocked. Falk sends it ahead. Jeff Skinner pursued by Garrison. Skinner with a pass blocked by Garrison.
Really a heads-up play by Garrison. Bad choice by Schuster to go in there when he had nobody behind him.
Garrison's got the puck. Kept in his side of center by Sekera. Coming off the Lightning bench, though, is Kucherov back to Stamkos. And he was defended well as the Lightning were completing a change. As dropping it, here's the shot by Nathan Gerbe. It's over the net and comes back to center ice.
Things open up a little bit 4-on-4, but you want to make sure if you're the Lightning, you don't want to exchange too many chances with a team, the Carolina Hurricanes, that haven't scored too many goals as of late.
Nathan Gerbe defended by Strawman, who got clipped with a stick.
Nice stick.
Lyles through that slot, tried to center. It's tapped right back to him. He's got Gerbe in front. He was tied up by Hedman. Hainsey shoots, knocked down. Saved to Bakov as the puck's still loose. No whistle. They jam at it. Finally, play is halted by Dave Jackson. The puck is covered. Little Nathan Gerbe busy out in front of that Lightning net.
Boy, Nabokov made a really nice save on that redirect. I thought he had it under him, but it came out in front. Usually it'll drop down beside him, but it came out in front as he tried to cover up the puck. And again, you see all kinds of... It always reminds me of a fumble practice in football.
He's falling it?
Yeah, to get ready to get that loose puck.
We're venturing the opposite of the snow angel. I always tell you, just hold, if you don't know where it is, don't move, hold still. Good job by Nabokov, a couple saves.
30 seconds on the penalties. Morrow getting interference. Gleason a high stick. Radko Gudas dropping it back for Matt Carl. And Gudas lugs the puck to center ice. We'll bring it in the zone. His try is turned aside by Ward. And Ward playing in his 38th career game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Filppula dropping it back for Gudas. Kept it on the line. In for Ryan Callahan to Carl. He's stopped point blank by Ward. Hurricanes motor back. It's dumped into the corner. Victor Rask, the 21-year-old, in after it. Penalties over. Morrow and Gleason have been sprung from the box. We're at full strength. Rask bothered by Filppula. He's going to get a call here. Luxmore, the young referee, will send him off for the hook at 8:24.
This is what kind of hurt the Lightning.
Tampa Bay penalty number 51. 2 minutes for hooking.
Got a couple of penalties to set up power plays for the Caps. This one here, you see, there's the right there on the stick, and I'll tell you what, it was a little bit of an embellishment by Rask, but once you get that stick up on the hands, it's going to be called.
Great no-look pass by Callahan to Matt Carl. And speaking of Filppula, he was back holding down the point, so Carl was able to jump down and a good opportunity. I think do a lot of those plays using the back of the net, the backhand passes.
Toyota power play chance for Carolina. Sekera setting up with Skinner. Takes the shot to Bakov. A save. He stopped the rebound, and Hedman has it back. Lyles was steaming through the back door. Here comes Hedman. Roaring down the ice. Fires, and he just sends it wide.
What a save by Nabokov on that rebound, guys. Getting his arm out, and what was a tap-in.
Veteran Lyles, stick handling the center. Tried to shoot it in, couldn't get it by big Brian Boyle. And Boyle lifting a stick, trying to aid the Lightning's ability to get that puck down the ice. Nabokov will play it. And he'll fire it right up the middle. And he gets it out off of Victor Rask. 1:13 remaining on the penalty to Filppula. Preston Falk, who will lug in the ballpark at 24-25 minutes tonight of ice time. He'll fire that puck in. Schuster getting to it. And they'll send it back to center ice.
Kind of joked around a little bit with you, Chief, and Nabokov not showing any signs of rust for not having played for quite a while.
Yeah. It's so important to get that first big save out of the way, and he's had a couple of them in the 5 shots Carolina's had.
Falk watched by J.T. Brown. They were teammates on an NCAA championship team at the University of Minnesota Duluth, and Brown spoiled his shot, tipping it out of play.
Let's look at tonight's keys, brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers. And, of course, puck management, meaning that you got to be a little bit more diligent with the puck right around your blue line and right around the offensive blue line. Just make sure you get it out and make sure you get it in. And capitalize on the chances. The coaching staff's always talked about they've passed maybe one time too many over the last couple of games. So when you get the shot area, you want that shot going to the net.
Chief, they're 1 for 2 so far. With your puck management, not able to bury the chances thus far.
Lyles racing to the point. It's out of his reach as we hit the midway point of this scoreless first period and 21 seconds remaining on the Lightning penalty to Valtteri Filppula. Galusti leads this team with 5 power play goals. The shot by Eric Stahl is tipped out of play by Gudas.
I think when you take a look at players that are struggling and haven't scored for us, especially goal scorers, you watch where they take their shots from and where they're trying to score. They drew everything. They're taking them from wide angles, out third way. They're not getting them in the front part of the net or in the close-in areas where you can get a deflection. So in other words, you're probably playing more on the perimeter. That's why you're struggling to score.
He's trying to put pucks on net, and a clearly frustrated Stahl.
Here's a save. Rebound to Bakov, a stop, and the third try was sent wide. On the try by Brad Malone, who is the cousin of former Lightning forward Ryan Malone. And out of the box comes Filppula, but Hurricanes with many scoring chances around of getting to Bakov, who's been rock solid to start this game. Lightning at a 5-1 shot advantage, and it's been 6-2 Hurricanes since. Hainsey bothered by Callahan. Edmund had it taken away, jammed out in front, a stop there on Malone. Falk shooting, blocked in front as McClement was squared off with Callahan. Filppula has it, coming late Callahan. He's well covered, though, by Patrick Dwyer.
Talk about wanting to get an early shot and an easy shot. And Nabokov not seeing a shot for a few minutes and then getting 2 or 3 really quickly. They went for an older guy. Reflexes are there. Flexibility's there. Not stiffening up.
Drawing on for the moment with Garrison. Paquette takes the pass. Working through center. Can't penetrate at that Carolina line. We got the whistle and the icing call.
Well, this one, I think, was what you're talking about. What a tremendous. Look at this one right here. Big blast from the point, and then it stretched right out there, and they just couldn't. When it doesn't rain, it pours. You see Malone looked like he had a really good chance to have a wide open net, and he threw it out the other side.
On the Bakov, the third time he's been on his back, making a save, and got bumped over a little bit. And Victor Hedman's talking to the official, looking for a goaltender interference call.
Imagine what Malone's thinking. He's looking for his first point, and this is 18th game of the season. Formerly with the Colorado organization. Lyles. His pass cut off, though, by Paquette, who was in the right spot. Pass across to Drouin. Has room, fires, and it's sticked away by the veteran Gleason. Into the netting and out of play with 8:02 to go in the first period. Carolina many scoring chances, but no score.
We bring you back into the first period on social media night. No goals just yet for your Tampa Bay Lightning, but they have scored 100 on the season, leading the NHL, which leads us to our Twitter poll question of the night. We want to know which goal is your favorite. Hashtag TBL1 for Hedman's game winner. TBL2 for your captain who scored on a breakaway off a sweet pass. TBL3 for when Filppula's shot got caught in the skate of Cali. And TBL4 for Connolly slamming on those breaks before shooting one past Lundqvist. Tweet us at Sun Sports Bolts. Pretty good choices, guys.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going with the boot, guys.
Yeah, I am too. I've never seen anything like that.
Impressive.
Now let's see if we can add to the list here tonight. Schuster keeping it in for the Lightning. Vaquera steps away from Johnson. Skinner getting it ahead to Toulouse. Lightning back in good shape as Schuster has it. Here comes Kucherov with speed, hits that line, leaving it for Killorn. His shot is off a skate, bounced off the back of the goal. Vaquera skates off with it. And two players get tangled up. As Garrison back with the puck, it's Tyler Johnson and Eric Stahl doing sliding toward the penalty boxes. We'll get an icing called against the Lightning.
Let's take a look at tonight's Buick big matchup. And you can take a look at Nabokov's career against the Hurricanes, as you see there. He's won 8 of the games. Decent goals against average and save percentage. Also has 1 shutout against Carolina.
Chief, I want to get into what he's dealing with in terms of, here's a guy who once played the first 77 games of a season for the Sharks about 7 years ago, and then 2 years ago in the lockout short year, he played all but a few games for the Islanders. And here he is, he's played 3 of the last 20 games. And the Lightning obviously know they've got to get him some action here. What are some of the challenges when you play infrequently like that?
Well, one of the things obviously is your timing and the way you put yourself through the mental pressure. Practice, you can practice as hard as you want, but it's not the same because you're not having the mental part of the game in the practice. But when you're in that game, you get more tired because of the mental pressure. Lightning going to be off for another penalty. Sorry.
Yeah, cross-check here going to Garrison. And the Lightning will be shorthanded for another 2 minutes. How about the mental part of it in terms of the focus that you have to have for 60 minutes or longer?
That's the thing. I mean, and what happens is that tires you out even more because you're really on edge. Your muscles are taut. You're ready to move at any moment, even when the puck's in the corner or if it's right around the blue line. You don't even know you're not facing a shot. So that works on your conditioning as well. I think you'll see mainly what will happen as the game progresses. The early part of the game, you're fine, but when it gets down to the last period or the half of the third period, that's when you notice the conditioning.
Paquette gets to that puck and he sends it just wide as he outraced Sekera. Now it's played right back to him. The Hurricanes converge and keep the puck away from Boyle. Garrison going off at 13-16 for the cross-check. The crowd thought that Paquette was fouled on that play. Great hustle by the youngsters. Hedman takes control of the puck and he'll sail it down the ice.
Good jump by the Bolts on the penalty kill. The youngster and the veteran. Pressure, time and space, taking it away.
Well, we saw Washington do a really good job against the Lightning by forcing that puck carry in all 3 zones. And Lightning taking a page out of their book at this point.
Here comes a fresh J.T. Brown to pressure this Carolina power play. He took a whack at Stahl's stick, dislodging the puck, and Nathan Gerbe has it back at center. Carolina coming in 19.5%, 15th. They're middle of the pack, belying their offensive standing overall. They've really struggled 5-on-5, not so much on the power play. The Lightning on the kill, a little under 80%. They want to get things going in the right direction. Falk. Over to Rask. He's been a nice find for the Hurricanes this year. Great stick work by Nabokov's side of the goal as he worked against Elias Lindholm. Rask with it. Now to Nash. Tries the wrist shot, and that gave Hedman plenty of time to close in, block that shot, and deflect the puck out of play with 27 seconds to go in the penalty. The Back in Black 4-game plan presented by Chase scores you any 4 Saturday home games with a free Ryan Callahan Reebok official player t-shirt. Call 813-301-6600 or visit TampaBayLightning.com.
When you see the player rushing that puck carrier, you notice there's not very many shots taken on your goaltender because they're hurrying to try and control the puck or make a play when they're not expecting it. And that's when mistakes are being made. Lightning doing a good job of keeping them away from the front of the net on the buck off in this penalty.
Well, recognizing when they're under pressure and all 3-4 guys going in unison, and Hedman doing a good job tipping that out of play.
Oh, getting it through. A save by Nabokov. And he gets a whistle.
Wow, that was their first shot on goal with the power play with 22 seconds remaining. And take a look at this. They moved it. Here's that quick shot. It doesn't have to be hard, but I think it deflected off of Gudas' skate and ski jumped on him a bit.
Good job by Nabokov locating the puck. It's tough when you're not the biggest guy, and look at the size of guys like Boyle in front of you.
Gudas on a Rush Malone in the corner. They work at a Fox. Shooting save by Nabokov. Rebound loose in the slot. Lyles with a shot. Doesn't make it through. Comes back to Fox. Blasting one wide. And it comes way out in front. Boyle trying to play it down the ice. Hurricanes control it. Penalty over as Garrison rejoins the play. But the Hurricanes keep the pressure on. Dwyer tied up by Carl. Rask took it away. He's bumped out of there by Boyle, and away comes Garrison. And the red line will shovel it in. The Lightning will get a fresh crew on.
Wow, they just gave up one power play on that opportunity. One shot, excuse me.
Diving block made by Callahan. He'll throw the puck to the corner. And Rask in there for it. Rask, a second-round pick from 2011. Leeson the pass, and he connects with Chris Terry. Shooting save. Nabokov rebound is sent wide. Boy, Nabokov is sharp in this first period.
He's had to be.
First shot, second shot, third shot. Guys rally around that. They want to play hard for him. He's a good guy in the locker room, practice.
Wojciech battling to get out of the corner with the puck. Hainsey has it. He'll wrist it down the boards. And Terry is knocked down by Schuster. Here's Wojciech out in front. Rask, the turnaround spoiled by Callahan. Hedman got it loose. Leeson holds it in for Carolina. Puck comes free. Here's Rask late in the shift. Couldn't get much generated toward the net. Nabokov seeing fresh legs coming on. He'll flip that puck down the ice himself. And Andy McElman waves off icing. Jordan will play it.
I'll tell you what, 2 power plays in this period for Carolina. They've absolutely taken over the game in the offensive zone. Lightning got to calm things down, get it to the other end for a while.
Belusti had it chopped away by Garrison. Johnson chips it off the glass. Stahl played it back to center. Handled by Johnson. Escalorn back on side. He'll penetrate here and challenge Sekera. Hooked it toward the net. It's on goal and covered by Ward. 2:37 to go in an action-packed first period of Evgeny Nabokov, the center of attention. He's been very sharp in keeping it scoreless. No score here in the first period as we bring you up into the booth. My partner, yesterday the news hit that this was going to be your last season in the booth. We've had so much fun in now our 20th season together doing games side by side. I don't know what I'm going to do, Chief. We're really going to miss you up here. You're still going to be on with the telecast, and so many people have had so many great things to say about you and your future, hoping to see you around here, and of course we will.
Yeah, it was pretty touching. I never expected that kind of a response, but you get so much into the game, like I was pointed out earlier yesterday with Tom Jones and Eric Erlandson, is that you get into the game, and I think Dish can attest to that. It's probably the closest thing to being in the game as a player when you're in the broadcast crew and you're trying to get the game. You're willing them to score a goal or willing them to keep a goal out of the net. And it's going to be a difference, but it's going to be fun, I think.
The difference, just have to alter the language a little bit when you're not playing.
Yeah. Well, I know there's about 28 officials in the league. They're pretty happy I'm not in the booth anymore.
We're certainly going to savor the rest of this regular season and the Lightning in the playoffs as well, Chief. And what a season we're having in terms of the games we get to call and following this team this year.
This is really an exciting team, and are only going to get better. They're very young, and I think what they'll get better is the defensive end of the puck. They can certainly score goals, and they have put themselves in great position to score goals. And it's just sometimes you got to clean up their end a little bit, and that'll come.
Well, if I could give you some props too, Chief, obviously one of the best in the business, and Rick. And I remember my first came to this team, ran into you guys out, and two of the nicest people, and we had a few laughs, a few stories, and that's what's so good about this game. And you guys in this organization, and it's one big family, and you guys believe in the guys, treat them well, and vice versa.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, that's what you miss the most is the people more than you miss the games.
I really miss when I didn't play and had to stay out for an hour and a half.
Here's a shot by Sekera. It's gloved by Nabokov. He'll hang on here, and I can just tell you, Chris, I've known Chief for a lot longer than we've worked together. When he was in Philadelphia and I was in Hartford, I knew when the Whalers would play the Flyers, if I wanted to see what was going on with Philadelphia, I was going to get the straight scoop from Bobby the Chief Taylor, and really enjoyed the association we had then, Chief, for 11 years before we've had the chance to work together in 1995 and since.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, Rick. They've known each other a long, long time.
Steven Stamkos firing, save by Ward, rebound, and Ward got a piece of that as well. He tried to center and gets it back with just under a minute to go. Lightning trying to bust through first in a period of great scoring chances at both ends. Lightning carrying the day earlier, and the Hurricanes had a stretch of 6 consecutive shots, starting with their first power play. And the Lightning trying to come back here late in the period. Hit thrown by Boychuk in the corner. And the Lightning come up with a puck in a 3-man rush. It's Filppula, Stamkos, and Callahan. Filppula shoots. Glove save. Cam Ward way out to cut down the angle and make the save.
I'll tell you what, each goaltender's trying to outdo the other one. Ward, not a whole lot of action for a while, but boy, he certainly has picked up some pretty good saves on some nice rushes by the Lightning. Watch this one right here. Look at how far out he is. He's making sure that there's not very much room to shoot that puck at, and he got that glove up quickly.
Having a little contest of two goaltenders. Pad save and the glove save. Stamkos getting 2 shots off and then passing. A little bit of everything.
23.7 seconds to go. Lightning have had 4 shots in the last couple of minutes after going 9 minutes without a shot on net, as Carolina had those 2 power plays they were very active on. And in terms of generating pressure, not necessarily a great number of shots in that second one, as Chief noted, not getting one on goal till late in the opportunity. But Nabokov has had his challenges, no question about it. Johnson hands it to Killorn, taken away by Skinner.
I'll tell you what, Lightning had a lot of people caught, only Carl back, and Kucherov really put his head down and got back quickly to take away that odd-man rush.
The period comes to an end. The shots unofficially 11-10 favoring the Lightning. Stay tuned for the Gulf Coast Honda Dealers first intermission report. Tyler Johnson will join Paul Kennedy outside the Lightning locker room. Kelly Nash will talk social media, and we'll have highlights and stats. Chris Digman joins us at the intermission as well. And a lot coming your way with no score through 20 minutes, but plenty of action in this first period. Let's have a look at the chase review, and the shots pretty close. They started out 5-1 Lightning, then the Hurricanes had a 6-0 run, and Lightning coming on strong late in the first period, and both power play opportunities in the first period belonging to Carolina. And the Hurricanes with a total of 5 shots on those 2 chances. And a strong period in the face-off circle for Tampa Bay. Tyler Johnson 5-2. Kind of led the way as far as that was concerned. Have a look at the upcoming schedule for the Lightning, presented by Steak and Shake.
Well, this is the end of that little homestand. The Lightning will go away for 5. Washington Saturday in Pittsburgh, which is NBC Sports and radio only from our end of it. But then right back at it the very next night, Tuesday against the Flyers, Friday against the Devils, Saturday against the Islanders. Very tough games. 5 opponents that like to play a heavy game. And Lightning will be tested.
Chris Digman joining us between the benches. And, Dinger, you talk a lot about ending a homestand with a win, especially when you're gone for 5 after that. This is a big game.
That old saying, you never want to leave too early, so you got to worry about the task at hand. And the Lightning did a very good job of that early in that period. You guys talked about the penalty kill and getting into some penalty trouble, and just continue to do what they're doing. And you want to leave home on a good note before you go on the road, guys.
Now the Lightning begin a stretch after tonight. 9 games out of 12 on the road. The 5-game trip, they're home for 3, then they're out for 4 more into 2015. The Hurricanes in a stretch of playing 7 out of 10 on the road. So Both these teams hitting the road. They're going to have to do their Christmas shopping on the road this season.
Well, yeah. You know what? I have a feeling that 98% of the players do it anyway. You don't get a whole lot of time day off, and when you're home, there's a lot of honeydews.
Saw a video with Brian Boyle on it, and he said, as long as they've got next day delivery, I'm good. Here's a pass to Nikita Kucherov. He was just checked there by Stahl. Circles with it. Still has it. As Johnson waiting in front with Killorn. The pass to Killorn and interrupted by Gleason. And the puck dribbled out to center. Tulosti checked by Killorn. Poked back to the Lightning defense. Taken away by Skinner. Teams the puck. Trying to circle the net. And he was hooked there by Schuster. A penalty upcoming to the Lightning as a result of that. At the 32-second mark. So Tyler Johnson, in talking to Paul, lamenting the penalties taken in the first period, and they take another one early in the second.
It's really it's amazing to me when you take a look. Carolina rarely gets penalized. And if you take a look at it, they are second in the league for the fewest amount of penalties taken. You see the hook there. The only other team that gets less penalties per game than Carolina is Nashville.
One way you measure the effect of those few penalty minutes is how many times do you have the power play versus your opposition. Carolina has the pass to Nash shooting, and it's off a skate and wide. Hurricanes have had the power play now 17 times more than their opposition, including the 3 times tonight, as they get going on this Toyota power play chance. Rask, Kirby waits, fires as he looked for the stick of Falk, trying to sneak through the back door. It ends up in the netting out of play.
Well, for a team that doesn't score a lot of goals 5-on-5, the importance of scoring on their power play, and the Bolts doing a good job thus far and killing these off, but you don't want to take too many penalties, especially after getting an offensive zone chance.
It really, yeah, you know what? It really disrupts your offensive flow, too. If you're playing shorthanded all the time, only a few amount of players get that ice time.
We saw Peters a moment ago, this being his first head coaching job in the NHL. He was an assistant for his longtime buddy and coaching partner Mike Babcock in Detroit for 3 years. Lindholm had the puck taken away. Gudas looking to spring somebody. Decides to just fire it down the ice. Cam Ward couldn't get it by J.T. Brown, but it's picked up by Gerby on a 3-on-2 rush. Stepping up, though, Carl. Rask, who was in Charlotte, their minor league team last year, backhands it toward the net. Batted away by Nabokov. It slipped behind him, and it's cleared away by Brown.
Heads up play by JT. He was right there to make sure if it did scribble out, he was going to be there to clear it. And he did.
Sekera as Stahl. Playing it back around for Skinner. Former Calder Trophy winner. Lost the puck to Garrison. He'll fire it down the ice. 30 seconds remaining on the Schuster call for hooking. They sneaked that pass through to Skinner, but he couldn't handle it. Tyler Johnson will send it down the ice. Ending now with 4 shorthanded goals. Their leading scorer, shorthanded, is not in the lineup tonight. Andre Palat, a goal and an assist. It's fired now out in front. Tulosti with a try. It's snared by Nabokov at a shot that was going wide. He'll hold things up with 8 seconds to go on the Carolina power play.
This has been a strange season for Carolina. You know, they started out 0-6-2 in their first 8. Then they didn't lose in regulation for the next 6. They went 5-0-1, and then in their last 13, they've been 3-10. You would think when they started that winning streak that they'd become a little bit more consistent on the win side, and it hasn't been the case.
Some might call that a little bit streaky.
But that 5-0-1 stretch was where Cam Ward really settled down in goal. Of course, he's been plagued by injuries the past couple of years, knee injuries and other problems. So he hasn't been the Cam Ward of vintage 2006 when he was the Conn Smythe Trophy winner and they won the Stanley Cup. Penalty over. Pass to Stamkos off the post. Gets it back. Callahan out of the corner. Dudas at the point. Bottled it. They've got to back it out.
The heavyweight boxing match. One goaltender makes a good save. And Ward right back with another one. A little help from his post.
Dudas up the boards for Filppula. Filppula getting on the board very late in that game against the Capitals the other night. Hedman's pass punched away by Gleason. And pass legal in the defensive zone. Dwyer's feed is taken over by Filppula. He'll play it right back to Callahan. Lightning getting right back on the horse. His shot is fended off by Ward. Stayed in play off the top of the glass. Dwyer chipping it to center. Now, Ward's goals against since November 1st is just over 2 goals a game. Yet his record's just about 500 because they've struggled offensively so much. Terry able to hang on at the line to stay onside. Nabokov makes the stop on Boychuk. Boychuk getting it back. On the point, it's Hainsey. The veteran shoots, blocked by Hedman. Right back to Hainsey. He grew up in Bolton, Connecticut, suburb of Hartford. He was a Whalers fan when he grew up. Of course, that's what the Hurricanes used to be, the Hartford Whalers. So he ends up playing with them. Pass ahead for Drouin. He swings in, hangs on. Down he goes. Jordan is bumped there by Paquette. Dumped in by Boychuk. Wholesale change for Carolina. The pass ahead for Brendan Morrow. And he's met there by Justin Falk.
Drouin going to the bench in a little bit of discomfort after legs going a little too wide there.
Lindholm will swing it in deep. Nabokov leaving it for Garrison. Chipped ahead by Boyle. Falk has it at center.
I think you got to get back into that mode that we saw in the first part of the first period where they had long stretches inside the offensive zone. They haven't been able to duplicate that so far in this game yet.
Garrison carried there by little Nathan Gerby, who goes 5'5". He's working for the puck here against Brown. Brown the pass ahead to Boyle. Lyles getting back defensively. Boyle leans in. Can't get a shot away. Follows that play in deep and continues to possess the puck. Gerby kept at bay by Kucherov. He feeds the point. Gudas Wine shoots, tip, save by Ward. And he'll hang on with Morrow trying to pry it loose in front as both Morrow and Boyle were reaching for that puck, and one of them deflected it.
Well, they've had a couple of opportunities, the Lightning. The best one was earlier when Stamkos just ripped it right off the goalpost. He had him beat. Ward was on his way down. He was hoping that that shot was going to come low. But he goes up high. You just see it catch that post. Boy, I'll tell you what, that was a tremendous opportunity. And then this one was a little bit deflected and slowed down by Morrow. Ward making that save. He plays very high in the goal crease, really outside the blue, which makes it difficult to get the shots by him when you're out by the point. But you can get him moving, and then that opens up the holes.
Chief, does that also indicate his level of confidence when he's aggressive like that?
Well, yeah, and he's also really hoping that his defense will take that pass. You know, when you get a guy very aggressive out of above the top of the crease, he has to get back to that post a lot more and more room to cover, so that if it is passed by him and not taking that shot, he's hoping that the defense or the forwards can intercept the pass or block out the guy the puck's going to.
They're a middle-of-the-pack team defensively. Not struggling in that area, especially after that winless month of October. As Chief noted, they went 0-6-1. That comprised their October schedule and started November with a 5-0-1 stretch.
Well, Tampa Bay Lightning hockey on Sun Sports is brought to you by Hat-Tricks Tavern. And if you've ever been there, you know how good the food is and how much fun you can have. Well, you can really have that anywhere. Hat-Tricks has now a catering service. If you have a business meeting, a luncheon, or even a tailgate party, give Hat-Tricks a call. You get at least half of the ambiance that you have at Hat-Tricks, and that's their good food.
Strowman for the Lightning to center. Shots are 13-12 Lightning, considering Carolina's had all 3 power play chances in this game. Lightning have worked their offense in around some shorthanded situations. And Chris, as far as what that does for the Lightning when you're killing penalties like that, only certain guys get to kill penalties. Not everybody does. So does that affect the ice time up front especially?
Definitely does. And a lot of times, depending on your coaching staff, your skilled players aren't out there, but then they're well rested. And something you can also do is gain a lot of momentum off that. You get a good penalty kill, fires the guys up, talk about the next shift after.
Stamkos playing 5:21 of that first period. Quite often, he'll come on late in a penalty kill. Here's a shot that's deflected off to the corner. And he finished up one penalty, 11 seconds of ice time there, but not as much as you'd expect for him. Callahan with Filppula. Here's Callahan shooting a save. Rebound. What a great save on Valtteri Filppula. Sliding past the net. Cam Ward on top of his game here at Amalie Arena tonight. Couple of chances for Tampa Bay. A beautiful stop here by Ward.
Well, we're still scoreless thanks to the efforts of both goaltenders, and especially this one by Cam Ward, which is our high-def highlight brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Take a look at the save on this rebound. The big kick out there, getting across quickly with the glove in great position. And he just robs Valtteri Filppula of the first goal of the game. And a break of scoring tonight for Filppula. And that's our high-def highlight brought to you by H.H. Gregg.
The one you want to have back.
Stralman's shot missed the net. Filppula's had a couple of great chances on Ward. He and Nabokov have held off everybody so far. Nabokov involved in a scoreless game for a long time in Buffalo, his last outing. On December 2nd, a game where the Sabres wanted a shootout by the score of 2-1. Rask is checked there by Hedman. Rask picks it up. Protects the puck. Sets it up for Lyles. His drive is blocked by Kucherov. Hedman sends it out on the wing. Right on the mark to Tyler Johnson. Kucherov in front. The pass deflected behind him. Kucherov muscled by Gleason. Still has the puck. Trying to curl it back. He finds Johnson. DeCologne shooting, and he misfires. It comes to Schuster. He finds Johnson, who called for it. Got it. Put it out in front. That was blocked. Got it free. And it's taken away by Boychuk.
Wow, this is one of the few times in this period that Lightning have had sustained pressure inside that offensive zone.
We could hear Johnson banging his stick on the ice up here. He wanted that pass right back and got it. Lyles defended the play well. Here comes Stamkos flying up the wing. 3 Hurricanes stand in his path. And Elias Lindholm, their first-round pick from 2013, trying to make the play ahead for Riley Nash. Lindholm speeding in on Garrison. Filppula. Great move to elude Lindholm. Still with it. Now to Stamkos. Back to Filppula. Right up the middle. He tried to drop it back, and it's intercepted by Sekera. He'll charge back. Derby waits. Fires. Nabokov is stopped. On the point, the drive by McClement was tipped, and Nabokov stayed with it to make the save. Sekera over Ford. Hangs on to it. Forehand. Shoots. Saved by Nabokov. Duda starts it ahead. We've got Filppula waiting in center. Rink-wide pass. Callahan skating into it. Dwyer on his back. Paquette with it. Callahan pinned now by Dwyer. Conley trying to work it free. We're done. On with Sekera for the moment. McClement mishandles it. Kyle Jordan with a pass across, and it's taken over by Conley. Shoveled back of the blue line for Carl. Deflects into Paquette. Carl looks toward the net. Wristed. Blockered away by Ward as Conley was reaching to try to tip that one home. Puck gets behind Conley. Dwyer checked by Carl. Paquette will play it back in the Carolina zone.
Couple back-to-back shifts of sustained pressure for the Bolts.
That's what they need. They got to get away from that one and done and the rush. Keep it inside that zone for a little while.
Carl misfires on the pass. It's time to reach back for it. It comes back to Gudas. Carolina trying to grab some territory in that neutral zone. Gleason works on defense as he's got Jordan with him. Morrow across for Gudas. And the red line will send it off the stick. Leeson comes by. Boyle takes it. Finds Hedman. He'll wind. He'll shoot. Deflected just wide by Brown. Morrow couldn't get it in front against Gleason. They've had some pretty good struggles tonight. Puck comes to Boyle and he shoots it just wide. Hedman handing it to Brown. Give and go. Pass it to Skates. Strawman backs up the play.
And to take the game over a little bit, doing a good job, the Bolts are utilizing the back of that net.
Skinner checked by Hedman. Puck chipped away by Brown. Hainsey backtracks as he's working now with Falk. Wojciech trying to feed it back for Hainsey driving to the net. Wojciech left the organization. Nashville his last stop before coming back to Carolina. Hedman. Long pass ahead for Kucherov. Works against Hainsey, spins it down the boards. Falk and Killorn joust. Hainsey's pass. Rask playing it ahead. Schuster with his reach. Couldn't quite come up with it. Chris Terry will leave it along the boards. Garrison picks it up. He's checked. And it's worked free by the Lightning. Quickly Johnson on the rush. 4 men in the rush. Johnson and the play offside. 8:13 to go. Second period. Shot 16 apiece. Still looking for that first goal of the game.
Tyler Johnson and the Bolts looking for this game's first goal. NHL skating here this evening a night ago. Sled hockey action. And Tyler, along with defenseman Mark Barberio, were on the ice learning that sport. Maneuvering their sleds, passing, shooting, laughing, smiling, and learning while also offering great enjoyment and a bit of inspiration to this first-class program. Rick and Chief will all recall Declan Farmer, an alumnus of the Lightning sled hockey team, being named the outstanding Paralympian at the 2014 games in Sochi, Russia. Great athletes on the ice, and last night, both Mark Barberio and Tyler Johnson taking part.
Great to see, Paul, and certainly everyone here in the Tampa Bay area rooting for Declan and the U.S. team in the competition last year. It was great to see them do so well.
He was one of the youngest guys in the Olympics, too, and especially on the American team. And it's nice to see.
Just 16.
Yeah.
There's a tip-on goal, a save by Ward to get a stick down on that deflection by Callahan.
As a played against him, unreal how elusive he was. It was really tough. All the respect in the world for those guys. That is extremely tough to do.
Justin Falk controls for Carolina, hands it away. Filppula got it free to Callahan. Lightning have done a good job, as Chief and Chris have noted, in getting things generated in that Carolina zone. But Ward's been a different story.
Yeah, he has. They've had some good chances to break this game open. But I think if they can get that puck retrieval going a little bit more in the offensive zone, they'll even get more chances.
Conley's got room to wheel. Gain speed. Fire and a save by Ward. Conley getting to it behind the net. Angles it back out to Carl. Winding, shooting, tip. Another save by Ward as Paquette reached for that one. McClement couldn't get it out. And finally it's played over the blue line. Scoring chances 7-2 Lightning here in the second period.
Chief, something you talk about is the mental toughness of goaltenders, and for the Lightning too is not getting frustrated, just to continue to put pucks on net and don't get frustrated when you're playing against a goalie who's on the top of his game.
Yeah, the key thing is, too, don't forget your defensive assignments. You get a little too anxious to score that goal. There's a hole right there, finally.
Well, held up by Jordan. He's going to go for the penalty here at 13-19. You're telling me the referees are going to miss that, Chief?
Well, you know what? It's really hard to play this game. If you're not taking a penalty, you're not playing the game right. You can get a penalty by accident by playing this game.
I mean, missing your commentary on that.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, 13:41. This gives a big chance for the Lightning now to work some magic. As you pointed out, though, Rick, Carolina has some decent special teams. Their penalty kill is strong. It's 11th in the league, rather. That's pretty good for. Of course, they don't get a whole lot of chance to practice their penalty kill because they don't get many penalties.
That's right. Here's Steven Stamkos moving that puck to Callahan. Lightning one of their last 13. Trying to pick that up before they hit the road for 5, and obviously needing the power play success to win this one. Stamkos couldn't get the shot away. Killorn has it, and it's tapped out in front, deflected just wide. Nash connected with a shoulder check on Stamkos, who now shoots and breaks his stick. Killorn behind the net, back at his skates, working with Filppula. Now Callahan getting a working over by Gleason in front, might have got clipped. Here's Filppula feeding it to Stamkos. Test out that new stick, and he hits the post again.
Same post.
Off the Iron Maiden again, and Mike Callahan's pleading with the official. How many cross checks do you have to take before you call one? Tough way to make a living in front of that net.
37 seconds remaining on the penalty to Mikhail Jordan. Puck left by Conley. Back for Anton Stroman. Kucherov keeps it moving. Falk takes a look, and he fires it back down the ice. Lightning still 6th best in the league at 22% with a man advantage.
Head coach Sean Cooper talked about Steven Stamkos being a little more selfish and taking some shots.
The post has been Cam Ward's best friend so far.
And Stamkos' biggest foe.
Yeah.
Sweetest sound when you're the goaltender, not when you're the forward.
Exactly.
Kucherov, Johnson, Conley misfires. It is in a great spot there at the hash marks. Stroman has it, fakes the shot, penalty over. Kucherov back to Stroman, feeding it now. The drive by Garrison, and a pad save by Ward.
Yeah, you're going to have to get your shots from dead on. Ward's really strong on his angles tonight. You're not going to get too many shots past him from the side.
Everybody wants to see a lot of scoring, but it's nice to see a goaltending duo as we've seen this evening. These two guys going back and forth, trading saves.
Lightning have had the last 5 shots on goal at least here in the second period. As Morrow has the puck, caught from behind by Gerby, and he'll play it on goal. An easy stop for Nabokov. With 3:40 to go in the second period, despite the efforts of Steven Stamkos, Ward has had the answers. So has the goalpost.
Several Bolts chances, but nothing to show for it just yet as we bring you back into the second period. And your Tampa Bay Lightning, they're pleased to announce the launching of a brand new Tampa Bay app. It is the official app, and it is free. It is not an update on the old app, so you're going to want to delete the old app, update this with the launching of the new app, and the easiest way to download it is, of course, to text TBL-APP to 88222. That's TBL-APP to 88222. And some of the first people to get it, you'll be entered into a chance to win a autographed Lightning jersey. Guys.
Kelly, thanks very much. There's a shot to the point by Falk, and it's stopped there by Nabokov. It's played off the glass and back out the center. Stahl. Falk watched by Filppula. Stahl's got a circle. He hoists it to the corner. Garrison back in good shape with Schuster. Sekera tied up Callahan and allows the Hurricanes to get to the puck. It's fired right through the blue by Stahl. Falk playing it back in. Hurricanes tag up. Back they'll go for a change. Lightning with that top scoring line. They want to leave them on a little longer to see if they can get something going. Rask pounded in there by Filppula as well as Callahan. Hands it to Stamkos. Deals it to Matt Carl. Takes the shot as he was looking for the stick of Stamkos, and it's deflected out of play. Well, tonight on Fox Sports Live, the Cardinals try to hold on to the #1 seed in the NFC as they take on the red-hot Rams. We'll tell you how the Cavs do without LeBron, and Ken Rosenthal gives you the latest from baseball's chaotic winter meetings.
Boy, were they ever. A lot of trades. A lot of multiple team trades.
Old show, let's make a deal.
Yeah, Monty Hall's hosting that show now.
Riley Nash, a face-off win for Carolina. They're one of the better teams in the circle at about 52%, sixth best. And the Lightning doing a good job in the first period. And Chief, you've noted that's one of the areas where the Lightning looking for a better start. That's a good place to look.
Yeah, it did. And then they did. In that first period, they were just under 70% and winning face-off 67 to be exact. And, you know, when you're a puck possession team, that's a very big stat. And that's a very big area of the ice where you want to really be more than 50% at. And I think that when you see it, especially shorthanded or with the power play. Shorthanded, you get it out of trouble. The power play, you keep it in trouble.
Well, the wingers and the defensemen critical too in winning or losing a faceoff.
Gudas patiently waits for the traffic to go by, but Nash stole the pass, and it's sent out in front. Lindholm shooting at a save by Nabokov.
Quick releases. That's what you're seeing here with them. Like, both teams are getting some pretty good one-timers away. But the goalies have been so solid here. Not, 21-20 shots favoring the Lightning, but, there's not like you're seeing like a 35-31. But tell you what, you're seeing some really good scoring opportunities from both clubs, and the goalies have really kept them in the game.
And both goalies, the old saying goes, if they see it, they're going to save it.
Carolina's last action Monday night, they lost at home. They were 1-4 in a 5-game homestand and lost to New Jersey 2-1 in a game where they outshot the Devils 40-16, 17-1 in the third period. So they've got to be a little frustrated offensively. 1 goal on 40 shots against Corey Schneider, the busiest goaltender so far in the NHL. Hedman starts it in. Loses his check. Back to the point. Fed across and guided just wide by Drouin with those great hands as Strawman fed him beautifully.
Yeah, he didn't have to shoot it hard. He just had to make sure he got a hold of the puck, and he did.
And he comes up with that puck in the corner. Back for Paquette. He's tangled up there with Jordan. McClement fires it to the line. It creeps out to center. Wire from center. Big wind-up. Handled by Nabokov. And he knew he had Filppula curling back of the line with under a minute to go in the second period. Filppula loses Stahl. Feeds it across. Schuster shooting. Saved by Ward. Rebound batted just wide. Schuster trying to sneak in there. Ward saw him coming. Puck gets away from Talusti.
Job by the Lightning shooting for deflections.
You have a goalie that aggressive on the angle. That's not a bad philosophy because you can tip it by him.
Stamkos. I don't know if he's been stopped by Ward, but he's been stopped by that left goalpost a couple of times here in the second period. Gets the pass at center. Battles through a check. Finally stopped by Stahl. Puck dribble to Garrison. Lightning back on side. 10 seconds to go in the period. Schuster coming across for the puck. Lays it safely up the boards. It dribbles to center, and that'll do it. Well, the shots, 11 apiece in the second period unofficially. Lightning with a slight edge through 40 minutes, and no score in this hockey game. Stay tuned for the Gulf Coast Honda second intermission report as Paul Kennedy will chat with Ryan Callahan about this scoreless tie thus far, as Paul and Chris will take you around the NHL. 9 other games on the schedule, highlights and stats as well. Neither team able to solve either Evgeny Nabokov or Cam Ward thus far in this contest. Tampa Bay Lightning Hockey and Sun Sports has been brought to you by Gulf Coast Honda. Visit your Gulf Coast Honda dealers for great deals on new Hondas. Go to gchondadealers.com. By Kaiser University, over 90 programs online and on campus. Learn more at kaiseruniversity.edu. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by your Tampa Bay area BMW Center. Lightning set to go in this third period, looking to get on the board first in a third period where, as Paul noted, they haven't lost a game in regulation when they've been tied or leading going into the third, and they're a +12 in the goal differential. Chief Cam Ward, very tough to solve, and you can't really convince anybody more than Stamkos, Filppula, and Callahan. They've had 9 of the 22 shots, plus the 2 goal posts that Stammer hit.
Yeah, they have. And you know what? I think right now they've had a lot of one-and-dones there, and you got to give it some credit to the Carolina defense as well. They've been really jumping on the rebounds, or at least blocking out on a rebound opportunity so they can get the puck out of trouble. But if you can put a little bit more sustained offensive pressure on there, you might be able to find a crease in the armor there, so to speak.
Let's have a look at the Chase review. Update you on the numbers from 40 minutes of play. The shots just about even. The chances widely in the favor of the Lightning in that second period. And Lightning finally getting a power play on the board. They've continued to rule in the face-off circle with Filppula and Johnson having particularly good nights there. Bright House Flex plans allow you to pick any games and any combination you want. This is the most flexible ticket plan available. Call 813-301-6600 or visit TampaBayLightning.com. Chris Dingman joining us between the benches tonight. And you were talking about smart decisions there, Chris, at the intermission with Paul. And we've talked about how the play has been better than we've seen these last couple of games. From a decision-making standpoint, has this been their best effort in a while?
Yeah, I think it's been very good, and I always say it's not the play you make, it's the play you don't make when trying to force something. The Lightning have done a good job of recognizing when there's a play to be made and not, and they got to continue to do that. And it might take 19 minutes. You just got to wait, be patient.
Long pass for Eric Staal. He was fronted by Tyler Johnson. Matt Carl picks it up for the Lightning. Pass picked off here by Tulosti. Skinner centers. And once again, Staal fronted, this time by Killorn. In for the point comes John Michael Lyles. Taken now by Carl. Picked up by Staal. His shot was deflected away by Gudas. Carolina looking to get off on the jump here in this third period. And Gudas knocks down Staal. Skates ahead. Looks to make a play. Pass behind Kucherov. He'll take it off the boards. Got mixed up there with Johnson. Takes a shot. It's blocked. And back on the Hurricanes with Skinner and Tulosti. Skinner shooting, and it's wide. Left side of Evgeny Nabokov.
This is the line, I think, that has to get a few more shots away. They get a lot of zone time, but they've only had 2 shots on goal in 2 periods.
Filppula shooting, saved by Ward. Callahan fires, that stopped out in front. What a move by Filppula. His 4th shot on goal, and every one of those shots has been a bona fide scoring chance. Pass ahead for Nathan Gerbe. He'll shoot. It's handled by Nabokov.
Filppula, one of the best in the business, going side to side, with a little outside-inside move.
Ryan Boyle was talking last night on the radio show on 620 WDAE about his great hands. They practice against each other in the face-off circle. He says his hands are ridiculous. They're so good. And how he's tough to beat. Here's Stamkos cutting in. He shoots, and it's steered away by Hainsey. Stamkos has it back to Filppula. Stamkos quick pass. Gerbe leads it out for Jordan. Cut off by Hedman. Kyle Jordan will come back for it. Hainsey sends it off Terry's stick. Nabokov pressured. Pass cut off by Terry. Back to Gleason. Schuster has it back for the Lightning, and he turned right into a check from Victor Rask. Rask leaving it along the boards, and Schuster now with it. Drulin fires it out of play, trying to bank it in off the glass. It hit that curved glass at the bench, and Khudobin, the backup goaltender, almost had to make a save.
That's why you always have your gloves on when you're there. Even though you're not going to be in the game, you got to make sure you have them on there. Not only to protect yourself, but your teammates. Take a look here. Another great play. There's that move as you talked about, Rick, and shot it right away. And he was hoping to find a hole when the goalie starts to move. There's certain parts of the body that have to open up, and Ward was quick to close them.
course, Anton Hudobin's ball cap would have really helped him there had he taken one in the head. You don't want to get too loaded up with equipment over there. Carl, double team behind the net, got it free to Morrow. Pass out for J.T. Brown, trying to sprint up the middle, kept at bay by Lyles. Away comes Gleason. Left the Hurricanes, went to Toronto, is back in the triangle, as they say. Raleigh area. Pass out for Gudas. Directed in by Boyle. Jourdan is back. Lightning have Killorn, Johnson, Kucherov on. And without Andre Palat tonight, lower body injury day to day. Trying to work a give and go to Mikhail Jourdan, and the play is offside at the Tampa Bay blue line.
It looks like the checking's even getting stiffer right now. It's something you would expect maybe one team to try to open it up a little bit, but a little too early yet. Only 3.5 minutes into this period, and you're still scoreless. You got to make sure that if you do open it up, you got a pretty good chance to go the other way, not produce an odd man rush the other way, back to your end.
As you mentioned early on, the players really like Evgeny Nabokov, want to play well for him in these rare starts. They want to score for him because Stahl had it ripped away. His last game in Buffalo, there was no score going into the third period of that game. And here we are, no score going into the third period in this game.
Reminded me of David Price, and talking to him that he was pitching so well and he'd lose a game 2-1. And said to him one time, "You ever tell your teammates, just give me 2 and we'll win." Just give me 2 and we'll win.
Balk for the point, angles it out in front, and it bounced off the skate of Schuster. No Hurricanes in the vicinity to pick that up. Skinner walks in front, kept at bay by Schuster. Goes forehand now, trying to sneak one by Nabokov. That was stopped. Gets it back. He'll try the other side. The pass picked off, and away comes Johnson. They'll chip it ahead. Lightning will change.
Good job by the Bolts collapsing in that slot area, and Johnson picking off that pass attempt.
Edmund carries to center. Stamkos skates into that pass. Leaving it, Callahan closing in. Hooked it in front. It's off a stick. Sekera got a piece of that. And a penalty upcoming here as Nash took down Filppula with another one of Valtteri Filppula's quick moves. Delayed penalty to Carolina upcoming. 6 skaters on for the Lightning. Here's Victor Hedman around the net. Got a man in the slot. It's Drouin, and the pass just out of his reach, but they'll still maintain control.
Boy, he had the great chance had that pass connected.
And the Lightning will settle for getting the power play. With a trip indicated against Nash, he'll go off at 5:17.
He can stop and start.
Carolina penalty number 20, 2 minutes for tripping.
Turn the other way so quickly. Very similar to Jonathan Drouin is another one of those guys that can really do that a lot. Take a look, he's coming right there, and then that stick right there. He was expecting to get to the puck, and only it was a skate. And then watch this drop pass right here. Just leave it. Half the time, that's the best thing. You just leave it, let the guy skate into it. You don't want to curl it. You can curl it away from him.
Lightning with a second opportunity. Got one shot on the first one. Filppula looks to get right into action here with Callahan. The pass banked in front, and it's cleared down the ice.
Well, a game like this, such tight checking and good goaltending. Special teams also important if the Lightning can get some good opportunities. Not force it. Entry's a big part of that.
Stamkos over for Ryan Callahan. Leans in, tried to center, deflected, and covered by Cam Ward as Hainsey got a piece of that pass with Killorn trying to close in from the other side.
I would expect him to just freeze that puck as much as possible whenever he gets a chance. Tried to get it out front as he was driving the net. They had Killorn moving into that slot area, the low slot. But they did a good job of stopping the pass and Ward covering it up for the faceoff.
They're checking on the penalty time over there on Riley Nash. We would never see Kelly Nash in the penalty box, so... Looks like everything's set to go. 14:04 to go in the third period and 1:29 on the penalty.
Pretty crowded in the middle of that penalty box, guys. A couple games ago against Buffalo. 6-7. I looked one time at the bench. There were 7 guys on the bench.
Yeah, that penalty box the last few games been getting a workout, both sides.
Good job by the team sticking up for each other and getting a little rest here. And you talk about it quite a bit, Chief. Face-offs so important. If Tyler Johnson can get a face-off win here, get things set up, you get the youngsters up front.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I was just going. You took the words right out of my mouth, Dish. They've been very good there. 64% after 40 minutes of play. That's a lot of puck possession.
Nikita Kucherov with that puck. Into the outside of the goal to Conley. They're on with Drouin. Here's Strawman now to Kucherov. Fires back across. Strawman took his eye off it. It bobbled off his blade. They've got to back it out. And it's played back down the ice. 54 seconds remaining. They've got on the center ice scoreboard 2 penalties up to Riley Nash, but the correct time is at the end of the rink. Puck comes right in front. They score! Kucherov pumped it home off the bad carom off the glass. The Lightning will take it for a 1-0 lead.
Wouldn't you know it'd have to take a goofy bounce like that to really get one past these goaltenders. And Kucherov's 10th on the power play. Watch the dump in right here. We've seen this happen a number of occasions. Comes off really crazy right back out front. But kudos to Kucherov to really get in there quickly because he was going to get to the puck first. Had it rung true around the boards.
Good job jumping in on it. Feel a little bad for Cam Ward, but not too bad in the game he's played this evening. But when you talked about games like this, you got to score an ugly one. And don't ask how. Just ask how many. And Kucherov, right place, right time off of. Whoa. Time dump.
Now the Boyle line on right after that goal. Lyles at center, held up by Brown. Morrow comes away with a puck, and they rule a hand pass for the Lightning. 13:08 to go in the third period. The first goal coming off the stick of Nikita Kucherov. 1-0 Lightning in front. Here's tonight's great moment in hockey history, brought to you by Geico. On this day in 2010, we don't go back too far, Steven Stamkos scores the game-winning goal against the Vancouver Canucks. First time in 12 tries the Lightning had won a game in Vancouver. That was a wild one. Stamkos getting the winner in that one of 5 overtime winners for him that season.
He was on fire in that extra period.
Kucherov's 10th goal. Strawman and Nabokov get the assists at 6:35. So Ben Bishop 2 assists on the season. Nabokov now has one. Bishop sharing the scoring lead among goalies right now with Frederik Andersen and Steve Mason. Each time 2 assists. I know that's something you follow closely.
There should be some bonuses, scoring bonuses, isn't there? What do you think, Dick?
Something you always have a little fun with when the goaltender may have more points than a player.
Puck shot in as it's played out by Killorn.
That was Kucherov's first shot on goal tonight. He had none in the first 40 minutes.
Power play assist for Nabokov as well. He has a power play goal in his career. When he was with the Sharks, here's Stamkos in the zone with Callahan just preceding him across the line. Brad Kovacic blows the whistle, and the offside call draws some boos, but it's a correct one.
Interesting thing about that power play goal, they never put up an official shot on goal on the scoreboard. So I guess you can score a goal without shooting the puck.
Well, we were wondering if Callahan got credit for his shot on that goal that fell out of his boot.
Yeah.
12 minutes to go in the third period of this one with the Lightning in front, 1-0. Long way to go. And the Lightning want to dig in that Carolina zone. Nabokov for his career now 1 goal, 15 assists. Pretty good numbers. Wojciech plays it in. Puck comes to Terry shooting, and it's gloved by Nabokov. He'll set it aside, and out come the Lightning with Drouin leading the charge. Back into the Hurricane zone. Lyles has Drouin right on him. Connolly down the boards. Rask comes away with it. Pass out for Lyles joining the attack. Holds up. Hurricanes are finishing a change at the bench. Paquette back for the Lightning. Lyles kind of half-heartedly low-bridged him. They both went down. Here's Brown firing right out in front. Comes to Hedman. Morrow lets it go. Brown with the pressure and Lyles. Swinging by, though, is McClement. And Dwyer ahead for Gleason on the attack. Boyle outmaneuvered Dwyer. Lightning couldn't pick up the puck, though. Jay McClement, the veteran centerman, matched up with Stralman. Morrow digs in along the boards, and it's forced to center. Rodon working with Hainsey. His try is gloved by Nabokov. He'll hang on. Your Tampa Bay area BMW centers want to remind you to tune in Saturday night. The Lightning begin a week-long trip with a matchup against the Caps. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. With Lightning Live pregame, the Bolts and the Caps Saturday night right here on Sun Sports, and looking for a little payback as they finish off the regular season series.
Good atmosphere in here, guys. The wave going on. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, I had neither. It's one of the few buildings we haven't seen it in.
Filppula and Callahan penetrate. Jordan took the puck away. Filppula trying to get it back. Holds off Hainsey. Couldn't slip that puck to Stamkos in the first try. Now Steven has it. Backhander is off a skate and wide. Filppula recovers it. Out of the way. What a night he's had. Looking for Callahan. Poked away at the defense by Mikhail Jordan. Ron Hainsey gave it up. Stamkos in front. Stopped by Jordan. The puck covered long enough for the view of Jackson, the referee, down low, and the whistle blew with just under 10 minutes to go in the third period. Another tense moment around the Carolina net. Kucherov's got the only goal of this game thus far.
The puck bounce goes the Lightning's way. Nikita Kucherov with a goal as the Lightning lead 1-0 here on Social Media Night in the third period. And we've been promoting Lightning Fan Rewards all season long. It is the easiest way to be rewarded for using social media. Go to lightningfanrewards.com. It is free. And click on the All-Star tab when you log on. You will earn 1,000 points in the program just for voting to send your favorite Lightning players to the All-Star game. It's free. You're tweeting her anyway. Might as well sign up and do it.
Kelly, thanks very much. You really haven't been in the penalty box before, have you? I didn't think so. As the Hurricanes move that puck ahead to Gerby, it's taken by Carl. Gudas. Ahead for Kucherov, slipping in behind the defense. He was hooked from behind just enough by that guy Nash. Played now by Gerby. He's held up by Gudas. Played out in front. The Lightning control it. Johnson moving it off the glass to center. Gudas will take it. Both teams will make changes out at center ice.
And you got to find that balance between trying to create some offense and not sitting back too much.
Harrison hurried in there. Now Gudas just got it away. Fired on goal by Chris Terry from the circle. And Drouin from center will send it in. Paquette getting to it. Drouin steals the puck. Walks in front. Tried to hand it down to Conley. And it was just out of his reach. Boy, they had a golden opportunity there.
Oh, man, and he also had Paquette there, but Paquette got in a little bit too deep, couldn't get that little left pass.
Great play by Drouin, picking the pocket of Gleason.
Puck deflects back into the zone offside.
Watch this play as he comes in here. He picks up the puck, takes it away from him, and then look at that. He tried to draw a penalty. No wonder they get a lot of penalty calls. But you see where Paquette got in just a little too quickly. And it was kind of a pass in between the two of them, Paquette and Conley.
I don't know how you do that 3 feet from your own net in a 1-0 game.
Funny sometimes when you get tapped on the hands. Called the ejector, hit the ejector seat. It's true though. You want to draw a penalty. Well, you want to sell it. Guys, don't get me wrong. Guys sell it all the time. And I think earlier in the game you saw that. But Jonathan Drouin, so good, his speed. But you don't want to draw a penalty. But come on, not right next to your net. A guy like that had 140-something points last year in junior.
Faulk drives it in. Around for Nash. He feeds the point. Faulk with a shot. They score! It deflected out in front. Carolina's tied this game at 1 with 7:57 to go in the third period.
Shows you that you don't have to shoot the puck hard. You just got to get the thing through. 12:03 will be the time of this tying goal. Just was back to the point. Faulk just takes a quick wrist shot. And I think it might have went off of Hedman. Take a look, because it went up over, it comes low, and it hits Hedman in the left shin pad and goes up over the arm of Nabokov. So Faulk's going to get his 5th of the year to tie this hockey game on an innocent-looking wrist shot.
17th point on the season for him, but that's a team-leading figure. Hedman checked in there now as Drouin has it. Conley on the rush. The youngsters on here with Paquette down that left side shooting, and it's deflected by Justin Faulk out of play. Prorated season tickets are limited. Season ticket members get the same great seat, exclusive benefits, and special discounts. Tickets start at just $18 per game. So call 813-301-6600 or visit TampaBayLightning.com.
Chief, can I do it on your behalf? A real shame, and 2 goalies that have played a great game thus far, and the goals that have been scored less than stellar, but it just goes to show you, put the puck on net. Never know.
You're right. You know what? It's maddening when you're a goaltender. You know when you really get in a groove, you really feel good. You're making all kinds of saves, and then a goofy bounce off the wall or deflection off your own player, and you got a 1-1 hockey game.
Cam Ward has stopped. Steven Stamkos 2 or 3 in a row. Valtteri Filppula off a rebound point blank. Nabokov has had 2 or 3 sequences where he had 2-3 saves back to back to back. Funny game sometimes, guys.
And Nabokov blanking the Sabres for about 55 minutes before they scored to tie the game up and force the shootout, which they won in Evgeny's last outing. And the Hurricanes held off for about 52 minutes here tonight before they score. Puck at center, and Stahl getting to it. Cuts in, feeds Boychuk, deflected just wide as Strowman got a piece of that puck to throw off the try by Boychuk. Puck played down to Stahl. He's checked by Strowman. Coming over to help out Johnson. Couldn't get it out. Gleason fires, and it's deflected over the net. Strowman getting to it. Tied up by Zach Boychuk. He walks in with Stahl. The feedback deflected by Hedman, who sprawled out. At 6'6", he reached out and broke up that play.
The boys are leaving the zone a little bit too soon. They're not getting the puck under control. They're getting 4 guys up in the rush before they have control of the puck. They worked on that yesterday so they'd stay in the zone a little bit longer and come up as a unit. Don't leave too soon. Don't cheat.
Faulk from Nash and Sekera, the scoring play at 12:03 for Carolina. As we told you, Justin Faulk's 5th goal. Pass cut off by McClement. Shovel to the point to Hainsey. Back for Dwyer. He's got Gudas right there. McClement coming up with a puck. Boyle got it free. McClement with that puck stuck in the remnants of a broken stick. He's shoved to the ice by Boyle, and Morrow has it. Good work in the defensive zone by that line, and it's played in by Boyle. We hit the 6-minute mark remaining in regulation time as McClement will play it in. And Nabokov gets a handle. It's played back around to Schuster. Stamkos through center. Looking to turn the corner on Justin Falk, an excellent skater. Back of the point to Schuster, and he'll send it wide as it kind of fluttered toward the net. Held in by Stamkos. Garrison down to Filppula. Trying to get it free to Stamkos. Broken up there by Sekera. And here's Filppula. Checked by Nash, gets away from him, deals it now. Garrison shooting, and it's off a skate. Stamkos stopped, tried to bank it in off Ward. It stayed out. Garrison gave it up. Falk will lift it out.
They got a much-needed change in there for Carolina.
Skinner a steal. Steps in for the circle, firing into Bakov. Got a piece of that. Chris Terry. Scored 3 goals his first 4 games this season. He's been pretty quiet since, but he's been involved in a few scoring chances tonight. Pass ahead for Skinner. Rask down the middle, cuts it, fires wide as Nabokov cut off the angle. Here's a try, Hedman a block. Skinner's got it back, he fires in front, once again off Hedman. Victor Rask leaving it for Lyles, and behind to Jeff Skinner. Hedman forced his hand, worked the puck free. Looking to skate that puck out of trouble and play it off the glass to center. Conley and Lyles jousting for it. Gleason keeps it moving. Terry, checked by Paquette. And it's swept in by Rask.
Play by Hedman, just chipping it in. For Lightning, really need to simplify their game now.
Now the puck lifted out of play by Gudas. He's heading off. Delay of game to the Lightning and a 1-1 score. Stamkos nearly scoring off the back of Ward, but held off.
Well, if the score tied at 1, let's take a look at our Diamond Performance presented by Ackerman Jewelers. And it is Evgeny Nabokov. Brilliant play so far in this game. He's made a number of saves, especially early when Carolina had a lot of two rebound chances in some cases. And he's kept him, the only goal to beat him was that ricochet off of Hedman's skate, or pardon me, pad. And now he has to be equally as strong with the Lightning shorthanded for the 4th time.
Gudas delay of game at 15:59. 6 shots for the Hurricanes on their previous power plays, and the Lightning off to a good start by winning that draw. Here's Rask into the zone. Kirby hurried by Killorn. However, the puck rescued by Nash. Strawman got it free, fires it around the boards by the stick of Falk and down the ice. Lightning get a change here, 30 seconds into this shorthanded situation. Boyle and Paquette. Garrison and Schuster on. Here's the entry by Lindholm, and he sends it off the stick over the net. Puck rolls up the side of the goal right near the post. Elias Lindholm involved for Carolina. Played out by Gerby to the point. Over for Falk. Rask with the drive. A stop by Nabokov. He had Gerby right there. Puck dribbled through the legs of Lindholm. He battles in the corner. Schuster got it free. Garrison rips it around the boards. Bouncing puck, and Falk unable to control it. Pressured here by Boyle, but he hangs on to it. 43 seconds to go on the call to Gudas. Puck played back up the boards. Chopped free by Schuster. Held in. Sekera with a shot. Got tangled up there with Talusti as he was paired off with Carl. Talusti out of the corner. Checked now by Brown. Lyles across. Sekera the drive. It's blocked in front. Comes back to Andrej Sekera. He'll hook it back. Lindholm with it. Boyle trails him. Sekera winding, shooting, blocked in front. Rebound tried. Nabokov a save. He made a second stop as well as Lyles hopped in that big rebound. He shoots here. That's blocked by Carl. Angled back. Lyles holds it in. Gudas set to come out. Penalty's over. Race on to that puck. It stays in the zone, and Nash shoots. A save by Nabokov.
Wow, I'll tell you, that last penalty kill unit was out there a long time, and they were really getting tired. But they did a great job of blocking the shots. They only allowed 2 shots on goal on that power play, and both of them came in the remaining seconds of it.
Nabokov helping his cause out. Second and third saves. Acrobatic, good, showing good reflexes.
Shots are 9-3 Carolina here in the third. As we've got 1:47 remaining in the third period. Strawman lugs the puck to center. Puck got away from him. Swept in by Callahan. Stamkos with it. Trying to get it to Filppula. It's in his skates. Backed up by Hedman. Ball chased to the boards by Stamkos. Away comes Eric Staal on a three-man rush to center. Lightning back in numbers. Strawman bumps Staal. Callahan grabs the puck. Anton Strawman. Room to bring it to center. Flips it to the corner. Leeson there. Callahan takes him on. Kicks it free. Slipped it back to Carl. Looks for some room to get the shot away. Doesn't have much here. He's pressured out at that point by Brad Malone. Under a minute to go in the third.
Nobody was able to move to the front of the net. Carl was waiting for somebody to get in front of that net. Nobody was able to do that.
Hainsey lugs it to center. And Killorn locked down Gleason. The pass hit Killorn's skate. Kucherov grabs it. He's got the Lightning goal. Entered that zone with Johnson in front. Ward with a save as Killorn tried to tip it by him. But Ward aggressively came out. Here's Killorn. Hands it off. The penalty score! Kucherov sent it in. Off Hainsey. 30.3 seconds to go in the third period. The Lightning lead it 2-1.
I think he was trying to pass that puck.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Oh, man. Guess watch this. Trying to pass that puck over there, and of course, Gleason trying to stop it from getting through. Or no, it wasn't Gleason, excuse me. That was Hainsey. And inadvertently kicked it past his goaltender Ward.
Well, unselfish. Try to make a pass and end up scoring a goal. And Nikita Kucherov will look back many, many years from now and go, remember that game? Tampa had the tap in off the glass and then the other one off the skate.
Remember all the posts he hit last year?
Oh,
well, getting a little luck going his way tonight. 2 goals in the third period. One taking advantage off a bad bounce from the glass stanchion that came in front of an empty net. He tapped it in. Now scoring here on a pass that hit the skate of Hainsey and bounced into the open side. Lightning with a 2-1 lead. 30.3 to play in the third. Hurricanes are using their timeout.
Buckle up, guys. The way this game's been going. Hey, you hear that final buzzer.
Well, you got your best face-off man of the night up here. And Filppula, he was at 88% in winning the face-offs. 7 of 8. And there's another one.
He pulls it back for Hedman as Ward has to stay put. He'll cruise back into his crease now. Kucherov's 11th from Killorn and Carl at 19:29 to scoring play. Now Ward busting for the bench as it's sent in, and an icing called against Carolina, so he'll have to go back.
Well, both these goaltenders have been outstanding, and like we said, that nobody has beaten them with this direct shot. Nobody.
Real shame, as he touched on. Good efforts by both guys.
Won't gets to the puck, can't get it out. Paquette in the right spot, and it's fired to center now with Ward hustling for the bench. 6 skaters on for Carolina. The pass is out of the zone by Falk. And there's the horn to win the hockey game. Evgeny Nabokov gets a hard-earned win. His third victory of the season, and this is 693rd game of the National Hockey League. And the Lightning win their 4th straight against Carolina. They end a 2-game home ice losing streak. We got more for you. Don't go away.